Hello, my beautiful friends. I'm so excited that you're here to join me today. I'm really happy you're here. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful New Year's Eve. Oh, this is going to be a really fun yoga class today. We're going to clear some space. We're going to let some stuff go so we can welcome some new stuff in. Our mantra today is going to be release to receive. So, I hope you're ready. I've got my tie-dye pants on. They're my faves. And I'm telling the universe, I will take some more tie-dye in my life. So, whenever you're ready, we're going to start in a seated position. So please find a comfortable seated position. Whatever that looks like for you today is great. And if you want to, you can close your eyes if that feels safe for you. I always encourage you to close your eyes because it helps us to go inward, and we're going to take just a few moments before we start moving to go inwards and start to slow our breathing down. I can already feel myself getting a little too excited. So we're going to start to slow our breathing down. We'll take a big inhale in and exhale out. And we're going to inhale in through the nose and slow down that exhale so we can extend it a little bit more and start to bring our body into more of a calm state of being. And start to bring your awareness to your body now and just check in and see how you're feeling today. I'll remind you that when we start to move our body, it can bring up different things. And especially today, we're going to be putting some attention on what we want to release moving into the new year and what we want to receive. And so just be aware of that as we sit here and start to notice what you're feeling, what comes up in your body, what comes up in your mind. If you have some thoughts popping up, just let them pass if you can. Notice them and let them pass. No judgment. And see how your body's feeling. Notice if you have any tension anywhere, if you're holding stress anywhere, if anything feels tight, or if you're feeling any kind of discomfort anywhere, and just notice it. Just notice it so that when we go into the practice, you're ready, you already have the information, you know how to take care of yourself. In my practices, I will always encourage you to go at your own pace and take your time. If you need to pause, if you need to stop and rest, if you don't want to do a pose, make it your own, my love. This is for you. So make it your own. Now, as we're still slowing down our breath, I will invite you to see if you can let something naturally come up that you are wanting to release this year. Something you want to let go of. It can be anything. It can be simple. It can be a behavior, a habit, a mindset, a belief. It could be something tangible or something intangible. And see if you can pick one word to symbolize this thing that you want to release. And as you breathe out, imagine that the breath that you're exhaling is sending that thing away with it. And now, if you have that word, see if you can let something naturally come up that you want to bring in and welcome into your life. Again, it could be intangible or tangible. It could be a belief. It could be a new habit. It could be a new perspective. Anything that resonates with you, and see if you can choose one word that will symbolize this thing that you want to welcome in. So when we breathe in, we're going to think of the word of the thing we want to welcome in. And when we breathe out, we're going to think of the word of the thing we want to let go or release. So we'll just take one more breath like that. Breathing in, welcoming it in, and breathing out, letting it out. And we're going to come back to those words throughout the practice. So hold on to those. But now we're going to start to move a little bit. So you can keep your eyes closed if you want to. On your next inhale, we're going to bring the arms up over the head. Reach the arms nice and tall. And with the exhale, we're going to reach over to the right. You can place your right hand on the floor and reach your left hip down towards the floor. So we're not lifting our hip up, but we're finding a nice big stretch in our side body. And we always want to deepen our stretches on an exhale. So if you do want to deepen it, make sure you're doing that as you exhale. Inhale, come back up to center, reach the hands up, and exhale to the left. And again, we're going to reach that right hip now down towards the mat so that we have a nice big stretch in our side body. And with your next inhale, come back up to center, bring the arms back up. And this time we're going to take just a really gentle spinal twist. So place the left fingertips on the right knee, and the right fingertips can just be right behind you. And we're just taking a super gentle spinal twist, looking towards your right shoulder. And inhale, come back up to center, reaching the arms up and the other way. The right fingertips will go onto the left knee, and the left fingertips will go behind the back. And we'll look behind us, looking into our past so we can release what we want to release. And inhale back up to the center, bring the arms back up. Inhale big and exhale, let the arms open wide and open the chest here. This is our first opportunity to make some space in our chest, make some space in our heart center. And we're going to place our hands on the mat, roll over the knees, and come into a tabletop here with the wrists right under the shoulders. And with an inhale, we're going to start with some cat-cows. So with an inhale, we're going to look up, and again, we're creating space in the chest, creating space in the heart center. And with our exhale, we're going to curl the spine and look towards the belly button. And inhale, looking up, opening the chest. And exhale, curling in. One more time, inhale, looking up. And exhale, curling in, waking up the spine. And then come back to a neutral spine here, a tabletop position. And we're gonna just wake up the shoulders a little bit, create a little more space in the shoulders. So you can do this sitting down. If you want to do it sitting down, you're just gonna cross the arm over the body and gently pull the arm in towards you, and then you can control how much stretch you want. But if you want, you can also do it from this position. So we'll be on our tabletop. We're gonna lift the right arms up towards the sky, and then bring it underneath the left arm and place it on the mat. And here you can just find a little bit of space in the back and in the shoulder. And check in, make sure you're still breathing. Inhale, bring the arm back up, reach it back up and place it right next to the left hand. And reset the spine, so find a strong, straight spine one more time. And then we'll lift the left arm up. And again, you can do this sitting if that's more comfortable for you. You'll just cross the left arm over the body. So if you're sitting, you'll have it crossed over this way, pulling it in towards you. Or if you're down, you'll have it down here. And make sure you're breathing slow and steady. And we can reset, bring the arm all the way back, reaching it up towards the sky, and place it next to the left hand. And let's take one more cat-cow just to kind of reset our back. So we'll take one more inhale in, looking up, and exhale, curling in. And come back to a straight spine, and we're going to curl our toes under, and we're going to walk ourselves back so we can sit on our heels and get some nice opening in our feet. Our beautiful feet do so much for us. They carry us around. They connect us to the earth, so we're going to give them a little bit of love right now. And this might be painful for you. That's okay. This is painful for people a lot of the time if it's a new stretch. So we're going to take a big breath in and exhale out. And let's place our hands palm up on our thighs as we sit here. And palm up is a symbol that we are open to receiving. We can accept what's coming for us. And so as we sit here, we're going to find some space in our chest, in our heart, and place our open palms on our lap as we symbolize that we are open and we are ready, and we are open to receive. And you can close your eyes if you want to, and you can breathe in. And again, when you breathe in, you can imagine that word, that thing you want to welcome in this year. And as you exhale, you can let go of the thing that you want to let go of. And let's bring our hands up over, and you can come all the way up onto the knees and release the toes. Maybe you shake them out a little bit if you want to. And then go ahead and come forwards into a child's pose here and rest. And you can have your knees together or apart with your toes together, whichever is more comfortable for you. You could also put a pillow here if that makes it easier for you. And as you're in this child pose, notice how it feels to just be here and be held by the earth, be held by your body, be supported. Just notice how that feels. And breathe deeply. We're going to come back to our tabletop and we're going to curl our toes under, and this time we're going to come into our first downward dog. So we're going to lift the hips up and bring them back. And I like to start downward dogs with bent knees because we want to watch out that we're not curling our lower back, but that we're trying to keep it kind of flat, at least what's flat for you. So we're going to bend our knees, and you can always bend your knees in downward dog if that's better for you. And press into the palms so the palms are strong and supportive in the ground. And then we can start to walk the feet out a little bit. So stretching one leg and bending the other one, and then just switching. Just waking up the back of the feet a little bit. Breathing. And then when you're ready, you can bring both heels up and then slowly lower the heels down to the mat. Now, we're going to look to the hands and we're going to walk. We're going to walk until we are standing in between the hands. And feet can be hips distance apart. And knees can be bent. And you can rest your chest on your knees if that's comfortable. You can let your palms face up if that's available for you. And release your head so that everything's hanging. And then we're going to start to really gently sway back to side, back and side. Wait, does that make sense? Back and side. Side to side. Back and forth. I think that was a combination of those. And then we're going to start to roll up through the spine as we continue to sway side to side or back to side, whatever you want. And the head comes up last. And then once we get all the way up to standing, I want to invite you to bend your knees a little bit more and actually let that rocking swaying get a little bit more free, and let your arms just go wherever they want to go. And imagine you're just kind of releasing. You're just throwing it out, throwing it away, releasing it as whatever it is that you are trying to get rid of or let go of or release. We're just going to let it go. Let it go. And let the body go where it wants to go. And then slowly we can slow those sways and come back to center. And once you come back to center, we're going to lift our toes and spread the toes and then place them back on the mat, starting with the pinky toe, one toe at a time as best you can. Place them back on the mat. And then lift the heels up and then place the heels back on the mat. So now we have a really strong base. And now we can roll our shoulders up, back, and down and have the palms facing forward again as our symbol that we are open to receiving. We are welcoming what's coming. We are welcoming what's meant for us. And we're opening our heart. We're opening our heart. We're available. We're available for love. We're available for whatever. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then bend the knees and bring the arms all the way up towards the sky. And we're going to swan dive over with a giant open arms, open chest, reaching down towards the mat. And we're going to come halfway up. You can place your hands anywhere along your legs, halfway up with a straight spine, so that when we bend forward again, you can bend from the hips rather than from the back. And you can keep your legs bent if you want to, or you can stretch them if you feel ready for that. And then you're going to place your hands on the mat, and we're going to step back to our downward dog. And take a big breath in, and release it out. And this time we are going to roll through the spine. So starting at the back of the spine, the lower back, we're going to roll through the back to come into a plank. And my friends, you can always put your knees on the mat for planks. 100% of the time, if you want, you have permission to do that. Or you can hold up a high plank, whichever you want to do right now. And feel how strong you are. You are so strong. And with your next exhale, we're going to lower through Chaturanga all the way down to the mat again. Feel free to lower your knees. We're going to place our hands outside of the mat, just on the fingertips, and come into a little tiny baby cobra here. Just pressing up, opening the chest. And with your next exhale, we're going to lower just the right shoulder down to the mat, so we're creating some more space in the front of our shoulders. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, left shoulder goes down. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, release down to the mat. Hands can be under your shoulders or a little bit forwards if that's better for you. And we're going to press up. You can either come just on your forearms and focus on this position, pressing the shoulders down, opening the chest. Or if you feel ready, you can push up to a little bit higher of a cobra. Inhale, press the shoulders down. Make sure that your shoulders aren't coming up towards your ears. And then exhale, release down. Press into all fours and then curl the toes under so we can come back to our downward dog. Inhale in and let it go. And we're going to bring our right foot forward in between our hands, lower the left knee down, and we're going to take a big arm circle. Arms come up and open and then back. And then place the right foot back next to the left. And we're going to go right away to the other side. So left foot comes forward in between the hands, lower the back knee, arms come up and open, big stretch, big opening, back, and then step back into a downward dog. And one more time, we're going to roll through the spine to our plank, knees up or down, lower down. You can come into a full cobra or you can come into a baby cobra. Lower the chest back down, go through your tabletop, back to your downward dog. And this time we're going to take 3 deep breaths here. So big inhale through the nose and exhale out. Big inhale through the nose and exhale. And last one in your own time. Now we're going to walk our hands back to our feet. And we're going to roll through the spine and come all the way up to standing. And again, we're going to find that strong position with our arms open. And we're going to shift our weight over to our right foot and lift the left foot up. We're going to go into a tree pose, and you can have your foot anywhere where it's comfortable for you. So you can place the toe next to the right foot so you have a little more stability there. You can place it on your ankle, or you can bring the left foot up to the inner thigh and press the thighs together so that you have some strength in this position. And we're going to imagine that we've planted a seed. We've planted a little seed. That's where our foot is right now. That's our seed that we're growing up from. And that thing that you want to bring in, that you want to cultivate this year, that's your seed. And you're going to imagine that you're growing up, and you can grow up through your branches. You can keep your hands at heart center if you want, or you can grow some branches because your seed is going to blossom into something beautiful. So you can grow your branches nice and tall and imagine that that seed is just growing and growing. And you don't know where those branches are going to go, but they're growing. They're doing something. Inhale in and exhale. Bring that knee in. And if you want to, we're going to hold just underneath the left knee and just take a couple of bend and stretch here. I don't know what the actual term for this is. If you know it, let me know. Bend and stretch. And then we can release it, shake it out, place it next to the right foot, and we'll do the other side. So if you find a balancing point here, then you can gently shift your weight over onto your left foot. Lift your right heel up, and again, you have options. You can place it right on the floor, you can place it on the ankle, or you can bring it up to the inner thigh. And once more, y'all, we're gonna plant that beautiful little seed. It's right there where that foot is. We just planted this seed, and it's gonna grow up. It's growing up through our body, up through the top of our head, and out through our gorgeous branches that are growing. And our seed is growing tall and strong and beautiful. And then you can bring the hands back together. And we're going to hold on underneath the right leg. Take a couple more. Bend and stretch, bend and stretch, bend and stretch. And then place it right next to the left foot. And again, arms come all the way up. And exhale, open the arms, swan dive over. We're going to walk back to our downward dog. And we're going to take the right foot again, place it between the hands. And this time we're going to put both hands on the inside of the foot. And you can walk your right foot out just a little bit if this feels comfortable for you. And you can even turn your toes out if that feels comfortable for you. And if you want to keep going, you can place your right hand on your right knee and gently, ever so gently, give it a little bit of pressure to find even more space in your hips. Our hips just love to hold on to whatever, stuck emotions, just stuff, you know? They like to be tense. So it's good to give them a little bit of support here and creating a little more space. So imagine that you're pushing them kind of out towards the knee when you press into the thigh. And you can find a little more space in the chest and look up if you want to. If you're really feeling it, y'all, you can lift up the back foot and hold on to the back foot. But no need to go there. If you're still kind of warming up, just stay here, just hang out here. Whatever feels good for you. Listen to your gorgeous body. Inhale, exhale, give yourself the teensiest little bit more pressure, even if it's just imagining that you're giving yourself more length and pressure here. And then we can bring our hands back to the center. Turn the foot back in, walk it back in a little bit. Curl the back toes under, and here we can stretch the back knee. If this isn't comfortable for you, you can keep the knee on the floor. You can even come up onto your right knee if you want to do that. But if you want to, you can stretch the back knee. And we're going to stretch the front knee too. And you can place your right hand on the outside of your right foot. And then inhale, reach the spine long, and then exhale, kind of just gently release over the leg. Inhale. And again, you can keep the back knee on the mat. You're going to get the same benefits here if that's more comfortable or accessible for you. And I'd rather you go for a straight spine. So even if you need like some blocks, you could use blocks here. If you have blocks or books, whatever you have. So this is also good. Or if you're here. And then we're going to step back to a downward dog. Take a big breath in. Exhale out. And take the left foot. Step it between, lower the back knee. And then we're going to place both hands on the inside, walk the left foot out, open the toes a little bit. And then again, we can give ourselves a little extra help here in creating some space in our hip so we can release anything that's just hanging out in the body. We can clear it out. Clear out some energy that doesn't need to be there, that we don't want to take into 2022 with us. We want to leave it behind, to clear it out. And exhale. Oh, again, if you want, you can lift up that back foot and pull that in, but you do you, friend, you do you. Do what feels right. And then you can bring your hand back down, bring your foot back in, curl the right toes under, stretch that leg, find a spot that feels good and safe for you. And then we're going to stretch the front leg, and we're going to come up a little bit halfway so we can have a kind of a straighter spine. And then go ahead and fold back over. And again, lower your back knee if you want. Get some blocks if you want. Even if you're up here, you can think about just sending the hips back, bending from the hips. And even just if you're right here, this is okay. Yeah, wherever you're at right now. Now, place your hands next to your foot again, and we come back to a downward dog. We're going to take 2 big breaths in and out. One more on your own time. And then we're going to curl through the spine one more time. Chaturanga down. Upward dog. And lower down. And this time we're going to come back into a child's pose. And release. Again, let yourself just be supported for a moment. You don't have to have everything figured out. Sometimes we can just let the earth hold us. ready, we're gonna curl or cross the feet, I guess, behind us, and then roll over the feet. Come to a seated position. You might need to move towards the center of the mat. And let's place our legs out in front of us. And I like to just like lift my hips up a little bit. It helps me kind of reset so that there's more space in my hips and in my legs. And we're gonna take the right leg up. And we're gonna hold on the outside of the right knee and on the outside of the left foot with the left hand. And we're gonna rock our leg a little bit like we're rocking a baby. Creating some nice space in the hips because we're trying not to grip the hips here. Now, if you are gripping the hips, that's okay, just notice it. If you want to, you can always hold it a little bit closer like this if that's available for you, but that's not available for a lot of us. That's okay. And then we're gonna place our foot, cross it over the left leg. And you have two choices here. You can keep this leg straight. If this feels good, just stick with that. If you want, you can bend the right leg in though. That's also an option. But we wanna try to have a straight spine or straight for you. And then gently pull your knee in towards your chest and grow up taller through the top of the head. And then take a little gentle spinal twist here, and you're gonna find that you have a nice stretch in that IT band. And you can look back behind you. Inhale and exhale. Remember that we always want to deepen into a stretch on an exhale. So try to do that when you want to deepen in further. And then go ahead and come back to center. And wherever you are, if this leg is straight, you can just keep it straight. If it's bent, you can kind of release the top leg. If it's straight, you can release the top leg over it like so. And we're gonna take like a super gentle forward fold, just in a way that feels safe for you. If this doesn't feel safe for your knee, you don't need to do it like that. Keep it straight like this. Grow up tall and just pull it in a little bit more. So you'll still get that stretch. But if it feels safe for you, you can take a super gentle forward fold here. And come back to center. Let's shake out our legs. We got to do another beautiful side, friends. So lift up the left leg. We're holding on to the outside of the foot, outside of the knee. We're rocking the baby. Rocking the baby. And again, if you want to, if you can take it a little further, you can hold on to the whole leg. It's really up to you. Find a way that works for you. I just love this one. It's so nice for our hips if we can release them, but I find often it's really hard for me to release my hip flexor, so if you can't, don't worry. It's okay. It's normal. And then when you're ready, we're going to place it on the outside of the right leg. Grow up tall. And remember, you can keep the leg straight or you can bend it under. Find a spot that feels good. And inhale. On the exhale, we can slightly deepen our rotation. And then come back to center, and you can let that leg go down. You can also put it on the inside like this. If this feels better for you, put it on the floor, and then reach up and do a gentle forward fold this way. That's a great option too. So wherever you are, you can either fold that leg under here. Just trying to get even more of a stretch in that IT band. Forward fold. Inhale and exhale. And then come back up. Shake it all out. Shake it out. Feet in front of you. We're going to take a really short little forward fold. Reach the arms up tall and bend straight with the spine. Bend over the legs into a forward fold. Breathe in and exhale. Release it. Just a quick little short forward fold here. Release all the way down. Let it go. Whatever it is. Whatever feels good for you. And then roll up. We're going to place our hands just slightly behind our hips. You can point your toes forwards. And with an inhale, we're going to lift our hips up and just find a straight body. And so we're going to exhale. Inhale, lift all the body up. And you can look up towards the sky. You can tighten the glutes, tighten the core. Big stretch, reach, and then exhale, release it down. And come in to a tight little ball here. Curl it in. You can take a little gentle cat-cow variation here. And then we're going to grow up through the spine and we're going to roll back down onto the back. So all the way through the vertebrae, roll down. And then we can bring our legs slightly in, closer towards our hips. And open them a little bit wider than hips distance. And we're going to let them fall towards the right. And I like to think about my left knee reaching towards kind of on a diagonal here to find some really nice length in the front of the hip and the front of the thigh. You can also place your right foot on top of your left knee if you want. You can look towards the left. Just find a stretch that feels so juicy and delicious for you. And then we're going to take an inhale and come back to center. And exhale, release the other direction. And once again, you can either place your foot on your knee, you can look towards the right, or you can just imagine that your knee is reaching towards that diagonal and finding nice length and stretch in the front of the leg. And release. And then inhale, come back up to center, and then I like to just let them go a little bit, just rock and kind of side to side a little bit. Rock, rock. Gentle, gentle, let them go. And then when you're ready, you can bring them back to center. We're going to bring them in towards our chest and give ourselves a nice big hug because we just love ourselves so much. We just love ourselves. We can't contain it. We just give ourselves the biggest, biggest hug. And then you can release the body all the way out into our final resting pose, our beautiful, gorgeous Shavasana. Let your legs be kind of long. Let your arms be long and be open. And one last thing that I kind of like to do at the end sometimes is plant my heels onto the mat. Toes are facing up. And if you keep your heels planted and you move your toes, it will kind of just move your whole body. And it's kind of like you're just giving yourself a little rock, almost like a little jiggle. You're just kind of releasing everything out, just getting everything out. Letting yourself go, just release, just a little rock, rock, rock. Let it go, and then slowly, slowly let yourself release, release, release into this final resting pose. And close your eyes and feel that earth holding you, supporting you underneath you. Once again, come back to that. And with every exhale, see if you can deepen more into your release into the earth. Let yourself be held. And with every inhale, again, we can welcome in whatever it is that we are welcoming in right now. We are receiving, we are ready. We're getting rid of whatever we don't need. We don't need that. We can get rid of that. Let it go. And welcome in this new version of you that you're ready to step into this coming year. Whatever it is that you're trying to cultivate, bring it to you and let it fill you up. And notice right now, if you feel like you have more space, more capacity to receive after this practice. Notice if you feel any different than you did at the beginning of the practice when we sat. And pay attention to that. And you know, if we didn't take the time to sit and go inward and listen to our own self and kind of shut out the rest of the world and just listen to ourselves, we wouldn't know. You know, we need that information. We wouldn't know how we felt now if we felt different. It's important to take time to just listen to your own intuition and listen to what you need. And learn to listen to your body. Then you know if you can push yourself or if you need to rest. And then you know what you need, what you want to welcome in, and what you could let go of, what you're ready to let go of. So with every breath in, welcome in this new, fresh energy that's coming to you, that's destined to be with you. And when you release that breath in an exhale, you release what you don't need anymore. You don't need it. Let it go. If you have time, I would love to encourage you to stay here and rest. Feel the earth, feel your body, be supported as long as you can, as long as you can. But if you want to close out the practice with me, we're going to roll over onto one side. And you can keep your eyes closed. We're going to press ourselves up to seated. And let's place our hands, palms open, on our legs. And thank yourself for being here, for taking this time to give yourself some love, to go inward, to take stock of what you have, what you can let go of this year, and what you can welcome in, what you're ready to receive. Proclaiming what you need and what you want in your life. And thank you for being here with us. And know that you are in a community right now where you are loved, where you are being cheered for. And when you take time to do something with other people, whether you're with them in the same room or not, but other people are doing the same thing, you're creating an energy that is cultivating peace and love, and that is beautiful. So thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful to get to spend this New Year's Eve day with you, or evening, wherever you are right now in the world. I hope you have a beautiful start to your new year. I hope you take this energy with you wherever you go after this. Thank you so much for being here. Sending you tons of love today.